We got some breaking exclusive DC news coming y'all way. I'm Jody Joe. Thank you guys so very much for being here. And this is going to be an exclusive, another DC exclusive on Jody's Corner. Let's get into it.
Gracias por ver la esquina de Jody. Thank you for watching Jody's Corner.
DC rises, as you guys know. I'm Jody Joe. I'm really excited for what's to come for the future of the DCU, but sometimes, sadly, there's bad news that's going to come. There's going to be lots of good news, and then there's going to be bad news because this is a business, and businesses are about the numbers. Businesses are about the dollars. And where we're at in this whole like superhero genre, this climate, due to mostly the Disney MCU, a lot of people are kind of like down on superhero movies as of late, to the point where Disney are trying to blame superhero fatigue for the reason why people aren't going to see the Marvels, and why didn't they go see Wakanda Forever, Guardians of the Galaxy, Ant-Man 3, and all the other stuff, right? And the Wish movie and Strange World and all those other Disney movies that are underperforming. But more specifically to the superhero movies, they're wondering, they're questioning themselves, right? Now over at DC, there's a completely different shift happening. What James Gunn is doing, obviously somebody who was employed by Disney and then ended up leaving them after, they basically canceled this man, brought him back, and then he gave them the middle FU when he got a bigger position over at DC. So he's taking his talents to DC, and he's been hard at work on the Superman Legacy movie that's coming out in 2025. And if you guys don't know, I already shared some of the images of David Cornswet, who looks extra beefy and muscly. This man went through a complete transformation of his body. Check this video out. This is right here. This image is before Superman Legacy. This image is during Superman Legacy. This man is not playing. That body transformation is real, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, it is real. Look at this man. He's buff, it's tough, and I can't wait for more. But that's not what I'm here talking about today. Today is the exclusive piece of news that is happening. Like I said, the ups and downs are real, and based off sources that are close to me that I trust, it's letting me know that budgets are starting to get slashed at DC. Budget cuts have hit the DCU, and some of the movies and some of the shows that they wanted to put out probably will be affected by these budget cuts. And one of the shows that is gone is Waller. That's what I'm hearing. It's gone. The Amanda Waller TV series that some of us was waiting for, but some of us were also confused on, is completely scrapped. That's what I've been told, is that the Waller series is no longer happening, and that not just the Waller series, but other DC TV shows are probably on the chopping block. And that has a lot to do with the budget that they've been given for these DC TV shows. And it makes me wonder, like, is there some truth to the fact, are they being too cautious about the superhero fatigue excuse that Disney has gave? Because if we're looking at Guardians of the Galaxy 3, who was directed by James Gunn, it did well in the box office. It did $845.6 million well in the box office. And that's James Gunn, the same guy who is running the DCU. So clearly it's not a superhero fatigue. If we look at Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, that is another example that these movies are highly sought after. People want to go see them. It's just they don't like the agenda-based bullshit, and they don't like bad movies. People do not want to go watch bad movies. And the MCU has been putting out a lot of bad movies. And people are like really listening to people like me, Rotten Tomatoes, and other people, movie critics, your favorite movie guy on YouTube, wherever it is. They're listening to us, and they're voting with their dollar. They're not going to see bad movies. They don't want to go pay to see a bad movie, because I did a whole entire video on my channel that you should check out, how expensive it is to go to the movies. It's an average of $100 just to take a family of 4 to go see a movie in a metropolitan area. That's a problem. So like, people are being more cautious with what they're doing. Now, slashing some budgets for the DCU before you're able to see what would come of it, I wouldn't agree with. But slashing Waller from the DCU is something that I give a thumbs up to for two reasons. Number one, it's not the type of character that is beloved. Waller is not a beloved character. She was in the Suicide Squad. She was in both of the Suicide Squads. And she's not, I liked her. I think she was the best part of 2016 Suicide Squad because, of course, look at the actress playing her. She's freaking amazing. Like, let's call a spade a spade. But that's number one. Number two, she is a DCEU character that brings confusion into the DCU. Now, I'm not the type of person that's like, oh, all DCEU characters gotta go. No, because I would love to have Wonder Woman back. I want Gal Gadot to be Wonder Woman. She is Wonder Woman. Some characters just shine. Some characters just are. If they trying to recast a Wonder Woman, good luck. That's going to be a tough task. She is the role. So I want to see her back as Wonder Woman. And there's other characters that I wouldn't mind having back too. But if we see that Jason Momoa is transitioning from playing Aquaman and now he's going to be playing Lobo, it only makes sense that characters, even to a greater degree, that Waller, who's a less beloved character, a part of a universe that is now dead and gone, that she gets scrapped too. Because Waller was one of the first shows that's going to come out in the DCU on HBO Max or Max. And if that's the person that you see, right? If you see the same person, wait, I thought the DCU was rebooting. Well, that's the girl from the Suicide Squad. That's the same. So are they the same? And that also goes for Peacemaker as well. So if you're going to axe Waller, it makes even more sense to axe Peacemaker. Now, James has said that he plans on bringing Peacemaker out. Now, I would think that that's a mistake because in Peacemaker, it had some certain characters of the DCU in there, and Peacemaker's tied to Waller. And if Waller's out, it only makes sense to get rid of Peacemaker as well because Peacemaker's ties in and out of the DCEU. You could easily give John Cena another character just like you gave Jason Momoa another character. John Cena could play. There's a lot of characters that I could see John Cena playing in the DCU. So it's not really about pissing off John Cena because I know James would have something for him. It's the fact of, is Peacemaker worth sacrificing part of the way people receive the DCU? Is putting Peacemaker that good for the DCU versus the people who are going to see him and be like, I thought he was the Snyderverse. The confusion that it brings, is that worth it? To me, it's not. If I'm running the DCU, I wouldn't have brought out Waller or I wouldn't have brought out Peacemaker. So that's just me. So this is good news for me. It's good news because, once again, my mindset is all for DC Rises. My mindset is for the good of DC. I went against Zack Snyder for the whole life of my channel, fighting his toxic fans because I believed in what was good for DC. There was battles between me, Snyder's friend, people in DC. There was rifts between Patty and DC that I had to go through, and rifts between other people in DC that people who were making these movies, people who had both sides buttered and stuff. It was a real nasty affair, real nasty, and it was stressful as well. And I do that, and I continue to do it all for the good of. I want the best DC universe, bro, because it bugs me to my core to know that we have symbols like this, characters like this, who are not getting the respect and the credit that they deserve. It has been 2006 since we got a proper Superman movie. Yes, I'm talking about Superman Returns. It has been. Man of Steel is not a Superman movie. That ain't Superman. Man of Steel is a good film. I ain't gonna fight you on that. It's a great film, but it's not a Superman movie. So really understand those people that have been yearning for a Superman and haven't really been getting that itch filled, that void filled. It's really frustrating. So if Waller isn't coming out because they don't see that the budget warrants putting it out, that's fine. But if they're cutting Waller, if Waller being cut is because of they don't see the value of Waller in this part of the DCU because of that they're trying to distance themselves further from the DCU, then that is great. That's even better. Because it lets me know that they believe that it's not worth it. It's not worth making Waller because it's going to bring confusion of the brands. You want to distance yourself from the Snyderverse as far as you can. You want to be on the opposite. You want to be in a different parking lot. You want to be in another state from the Snyderverse. And Waller just, even though people in the know, like me, like you, watching this superhero movie video, you know, watch the movies, you will know that it's a difference. But that general public, that general audience out there, they don't know shit. They're going to be like, what, huh? Yeah, okay. Well, I don't like this Snyderverse. And this Snyderverse still alive? They're going to be saying some of the dumbest, ignorant things because they don't know. So if we're DC, James Gunn is inclined to educate the general public. He has to educate them because he didn't go out there and make this big, huge statement about the shift. He talked about he had that video about how it's going to be slightly different, but he didn't really hammer it in. So the movies are going to speak the volumes from what I'm seeing. The movies and the TV shows are going to show you that it's a different universe. And with that being said, I know that Waller would have been a good show. It's a sad thing to see like Viola Davis not reprise that role, but at the same time, that don't mean shit to me when I'm thinking about the good of DC. Get that show the freak up out of here, and that Peacemaker if it means DC is going to be able to distance itself from the Snyderverse. We need a real fair shot here, man. A real fair shot. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Are you bummed out that Waller's on the shelf? And not just only Waller. They're looking at other shows that are going to be probably put on the shelf. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Subscribe to Jody's Corner for more news like this and a whole lot of other content about life, baby. I'm Jody Joe, and I'm out. Deuces.